Hey there, welcome to video 19 out of 90. I'm taking on a challenge to do a video a day, creating content every day, 7 days a week, for the purposes of me learning specific ideas, philosophies, systems, what have you, at a deeper level, ideas. And using that old saying of we teach what we most need to learn, and simply just doing it through video. Hopefully some of the things that I say might get you thinking and maybe helpful. But my main purpose is for me to learn things at a deeper level. And so in this video, I guess the title could be "Quoting isn't the problem," and why quoting struggles to point to a deeper business misalignment, which sounds very complicated, but it's not really. And my philosophy, at least, is, and I've thought about this and dived deep into it for many years, is that there is a very broad belief throughout the building industry, and most businesses, in fact, that people make decisions based on price. You've got to be price competitive, blah, blah, blah. And all that does, particularly in the building industry, is it just creates a race to the bottom. What I believe, and I'm happy to argue the point with anybody about this, is that people do not make decisions based on price. They may seem to default to price if there is an absence of a value comparison. So I can, here's one choice, here's the other choice. The first reasoning about making a choice between those two options isn't price. It's a feeling. It's a sense of value. And what could be valuable to people, like if you put yourself in their shoes, and the what they've heard about the building industry, maybe experienced about the building industry, is that they might get ripped off, that the trades are unreliable, they charge too much, and there's just a whole raft of reasons, historical reasons, as to why people don't trust people in the building industry. And so what they're trying to do when they're working with you in the early stages is trying to gather as much information from you as they can so they can make the decisions. And that's a really dumb way of doing it, but it happens because of the lack of trust. And so what people really want, and they don't even think about this consciously, but they want to be protected, they want to be guided, and they want to be supported. And trust and feeling understood represents a massive level, here we go with the blind again, massive level of value. And so instead of just putting your quote together and focusing in on the price, because that isn't really, even though they'll say it, it's not really what's going to cause them to make the decision. They're going to look at the price, but they're going to look at what they're getting for the price. And it's not about the workmanship and the quality of the fixtures and fittings and all of that sort of stuff. It's about how they will be supported and how they will be protected and looked after. That is deep down how they're measuring whether they're getting value out of it. So if you're putting all of your time and quoting and trying to be price competitive, what I would suggest is, instead of spending all that time just trying to get the price down, I would suggest that you invest some time learning how to communicate more effectively, and how to build rapport, and how to build a connection, and how to have your prospect feel deeply listened to. If you read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, the 5th habit in the 7 habits is first seek to understand, then to be understood. My observations are a builder will just talk and try to deliver value by delivering information and data and answering questions. Whereas I would suggest to you that you would deliver significantly higher levels of perceived value from your prospect if you asked questions and then fed back their answers as you understood it and asked if they felt that you understand. That's not answering the questions. That's having them feel like you really understand their problem, their desire from their perspective. So you can go to habit 5 in the 7 habits of highly effective people and read it and reread it and reread it and learn about the art and the value that you can deliver through level 5 listening or empathic or empathetic listening, whatever label you want to use, where your only purpose is to listen with the intent to understand, not the intent to reply, but the intent to understand, and ask them for confirmation. And this is the key to it, is to ask them for confirmation that they feel understood. And I will stand by, and I'm happy to get into our conversation with anybody. Connect with me through LinkedIn, and we can jump on a phone or jump on a Zoom or something like that and hash this out. Because if I can help you to understand this one thing, and you can change how you are delivering the proposal process and going through the early conversations, and instead of you, through your belief in people make decisions based on price, if you believe that, you're going to bring that focus to the conversation, and you are going to cause them to want to focus on price. And you're making a rod for your own back by doing that. You need to understand that everybody makes decisions based on their perception of value, not the price. If there is no perceived difference between two things, perhaps a person might default to the cheaper. But there's even evidence to the contrary of that. Like there's been heaps of studies where they've got a box of fruit, 2 boxes of fruit, 2 pallets of oranges in a supermarket, and they're identical, but they just price one higher than the other. And the big majority of the time, the ones that are priced higher sell out first. So work that out. It just I was about to say it makes no sense, but it does make sense. People perceive that, there must be something I'm missing. And so those oranges tend to go quicker than the cheaper ones because I don't want the cheap ones. Something to think about. What do you think about it? What are your comments about this? How do you go about this in your business? Does your business have a focus on price and always, waving the flag about you're the cheapest and that sort of stuff? Or do you use your efforts to focus on figuring out how to be better at understanding and building rapport and building trust and building a connection? Because I'll guarantee you, if you become a master at that, it will change everything in your business. Look forward to you reaching out. Comments. This was video 19. 20's coming up. So what's that mean? I've got 71 to go. See you over the next 71 videos. Bye for now.